Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to six figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. Let's welcome Melissa Houston to the podcast. She's a financial strategist, the author of Cash Confident, an entrepreneur's guide to creating a profitable business, and the founder of She Means Profit. Melissa is a CPA who is passionate about helping business owners make profit in their business. And Melissa is a regular contributor at Forbes and other large publications. Melissa, I'm super excited that you're here to have this conversation, selfishly a little bit, because I'm like in the thick of finance stuff. And so I'm excited to have you here. And I've learned some important lessons recently that just showcase how important it is. So I'm like stoked that you wrote this book, and I'm going to get it in as many hands as I possibly can. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing it. We'll give you the link to where you can get Cash Confident, but welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to this conversation, especially since you're saying that you're knee deep in your finances right now. So that is awesome, because every business owner needs to be aware of what's going on in their business, right?
Yeah, 100%. And really, it's like everyone talks about like, oh, we made six figures, we made seven figures and all these things. But it's like, my next question is, but like, how profitable were you? Exactly. Right? Which you talk about that in the book. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Like, are you profitable? Is there money coming back in your pocket? Profit for the business. And that's so important. And none of us started
profit is going to make you wealthy, right?
Yeah, 100%. We didn't start our businesses to be poor. A lot of us started to like serve and help people. But we want to make money while we're doing this as well.
And you want to make the profit after you pay yourself as well. You have to remember to pay yourself first.
Yes. And often, and I kind of still had that thought process, is that what I'm paying myself is the profit. But certainly what you're teaching in the book is that you are paying yourself, and that would essentially be an expense for your business. So if there's nothing left over after that, technically you're not that profitable.
Exactly.
And so that was
a lot of business owners do confuse that, right? Because they think that they should only pay themselves if they make money. But the thing is, you need to plan to make money, and you can't depend on the profit to live off of, because that's not sustainable, right? Because there's months where you make profit. There may be months when you don't. You have to be able to rely on a regular paycheck from your business in order to keep you going personally.
Yeah, definitely. And that was something, a lot of people have been listening for a long time. If you're new, I launched my first business outside of network marketing, Grow Workspace, and it just caught like wildfire, a membership site. And we had 1,400 paying members by the end of month one and 4,000 by the end of month four, six figures.
That's amazing.
In 4 months, reaching $1 million in 20 months. And that first 4 months, we were about 80% profit margin there. It was just me and my sister. We didn't have a lot of expenses. So there was a lot of profit there. And I think just growing very quickly. And I think you kind of talk about this too, is like over hiring. Like you're growing quickly and, you start hiring, and then all of a sudden and things kind of slow down, or maybe they table out. And then you're like, oh, shoot, now I have all these expenses for my business, and now I'm not as profitable.
Yeah.
And my husband would, and we were in, this time growing this business, and my husband would always be like, what are the numbers? How many members are joining every month? How many members are canceling? And I was kind of like, I don't know. And I don't care, because like, we're making a lot of money and this is great. Like, do I really need to know the exact numbers? Or I would glance at them, I would look at them, but I didn't recall the specifics. And so I'd say, I don't know, but I know that we're making more money than we did last month. And so for me as a newer entrepreneur, it was like, that was what really mattered. When the numbers start to go down, then I'll really take a look. And that's too late, is what I'm learning.
Yeah.
From your book.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, a lot of people think that growth stages are amazing, right? They're like, we're growing, we're making money, the revenue's coming in, and you're not looking at the back end, the expenses that are going out. And if you don't plan for this, the growth stage can be the most riskiest stage in your business. It can be even riskier than when you're just starting, right? Mm-hmm. Because growth stages take your cash. They're cash suckers. So you want to make sure that if you're in growth stage, that you are planning it out correctly. So like you said, when the growth starts to decline a bit, because eventually it will level out and it will, maybe drop off a bit or, whatever's going on, you have to monitor what's going on to ensure that you'll be able to afford all the new stuff that you brought on. So having a business plan, especially during growth stages, is really important because it helps you understand at what point you need to bring in extra resources like new hires, or, if you're maybe a different type of business, maybe you're a product-based business or something, and you need to expand your manufacturing facilities, whatever's going on in your business. You have to plan these things out really well so that you don't end up in a cash crunch or put your business at risk.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And we did have so much money coming in that we weren't distributing it all. And I've got a business partner. And so we weren't distributing it all. We were, putting into savings. Let's save and save and save till we had 6 figures in savings in there to get us through. And then things started to decline. And it was like, we gotta tap into that savings a little bit, and it's almost, and now we have a weekly scorecard where every single week we're putting the numbers in there, profit or loss, and really just kind of more so not to make decisions like, and you can tell me if this is wrong to do, but right now, currently, because I didn't get to read the book before because it wasn't out yet when we were going through this big transition, but every week looking at the numbers and not to like make hasty decisions like from week to week, but really understand, okay, we were negative 5,000. Why? Well, that's because our Kajabi payment came out this month and our, this other big platform we pay, for the whole year up front came out. So that was $10K in expenses we don't normally have. Okay, good. Just to get a pulse on it. Exactly. And be really tracking regularly. And then looking, I don't know, you tell me, a month, a quarter, to then like kind of see overview. What do you recommend with that?
Yeah. So, there's a couple of things that I recommend. You definitely want to have at the beginning of every year or at some point during the year where you revisit. First of all, if you haven't done it already, you need to create a business financial plan. And then you would revisit to make sure that you're constantly projecting 12 months in advance, right? So that you're planning out what's going on in your business throughout the 12 months. And then you want to make sure that you monitor your results against that plan. So each and every month, you're going to look at your results, compare it against your plan. And like you said, do the analysis. Understand if you came over, that's great, but you want to know what's going well so that you can capitalize on that. And if you fell short, you want to know what's going on so you can fix the problem. And I have to say, congratulations. I love hearing that you saved up to 6 figures. That is amazing because I don't often hear that.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Good. Well, it's gone down now because we've had to dive into it. And that was, and I'll point out 2 parts in the book that I love, but it was, we found ourselves in this critical place last year where it was like, are we going to have a business in 6 months? Like if this keeps going how it's going? And it was like, dang, like I really put the blinders on. And so I want to share this sentence that you have in the book. The numbers will never lie to you. They might tell you what you don't want to hear, but don't be afraid or shy away from them because they offer you the most valuable information to help keep your business alive. And it was almost like I was scared to look at the numbers because it might stop. Going up. And it's like, that's the worst CEO or like business decision you can make. Like they're going to be honest with you and it might hurt and it might sting a little bit, but it's going to help you course correct a lot quicker than, we're seeing them go down and go down. We're like, oh, maybe they'll go up or like, we could try this little thing. But like, if you're not looking, then you're not going to know. And it's going to get to the point where you're at where we were at, where it's like, are we going to have to close our doors? And we had to make some serious decisions about our business. And then the other line that you have in here that really hit home was your money mistakes don't define you. So I was struggling with that a lot. Like, oh my gosh, I'm helping people build their business. And we found ourselves in a place where it's like, we have so many contractors, a team of 16, and we're creating so much. And now it's the growth isn't there and our expenses are way too high. And there's really not any profit now, especially like after paying ourselves. And was just kind of in this pickle of, we've got to figure this out. And I was struggling with that. Who am I to teach people about business when I found myself in this place? But it doesn't define you. I've learned so much being in that spot. And now I'm learning even more from your book.
And you're right. It doesn't define you. And it's so important to remember that business is really a series of mistakes, right? Mm-hmm. And you're always going to have ebbs and flows in your business because your business is never going to stay stagnant. If it were like that, everybody would have a business and everybody would be doing well and nobody would be crying, themselves to sleep at night or anything like that, right? But it's not like that. You're going to have great times and you're going to have times where business drops off. But by looking at the numbers, you can anticipate what's going on and you have plan B, plan C in place just to get you through the leaner times. It's so important not to be like, okay, we're making money now. The money's coming in and I'm going to spend it, because that's what most business owners do. So again, I have to applaud you for saving your money because you need that money. You need those cash reserves for when business is not so great and you need to float yourself. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So 100%. Important.
And that reminds me, because you have in the book, you talk about mindset and your money story. And just yesterday, my son comes up to me, he's 9 years old, and he says, Mom, what jobs can I do for some money? I want to make some money. What can I do? And so, I'm giving him some options. And of course, cleaning out the drink fridge that has sticky stuff all over it he did not want to do that. I had to come up with something else. Vacuuming and washing out the car. And so he had pitched to me, he said, well, I want to make some money because, I kind of want to save for some things. There might be some bigger things that I want. And I knew he had something in mind. And he goes, so I want to make some money and save for it. I said, okay, I will. I'm thinking of him as like a contractor with his own business. Let me do some jobs and make some money. And so he makes this money and he's trying to make $20. I find all these things. He's basically working all day and he gets $21. And he comes up to me and he goes, Mom, I want to buy some V-Bucks, which is for a game. What? Some V-Bucks, I'll explain, which is for his games, on the Xbox to buy a skin for his person, like a new outfit or something. And we've always had this thing where it's like the money that you make, you have to save 50% and then you can spend the other 50, which is aggressive, but like trying to teach good money habits. And I said, Avery, you can't make the money. I thought you wanted to save for something bigger. And he goes, well, I just really want this thing. And I said, I'm not going to let you do that today. We're starting bad money habits of money in, money out. You get money in, you spend it. And I said, we want to try and create healthy money habits where you're not just constantly getting money in and spending it. You said you wanted to save. So let's save some. Let's sleep on it for a day, and talk this through. And so, that just reminds me of the mindset. And a lot of us have these mindsets about money that we have no idea about. It happened when we were 7 or 9, and no one course corrected, or so, you explain the situation that you had here that created your money mindset. And so again, your money mistakes are things that they don't define you, but if you can recognize them, and that was the first chapter in your book, mindset.
And I love that you brought up like these money stories because we all carry them. And like, even for me, I consider myself a very self-aware person. And I've been working in the finance field for over 2 decades. So when I started my business, I said to myself, well, or may have had it in conversation, whatever. If anybody had told me that I would have any money mindset issues at this point, I'd been there, done it. I'm sure I've got nothing, right? Sure. But sure enough, as an entrepreneur, I had deeper issues that I was carrying that I had zero idea that I was carrying. And they were holding me back in my sales because I had such an icky feeling about selling things. And my money story, because we can have several of them, right?
Yeah.
So one of my money stories was my parents and my grandparents were very much, anybody who's trying to sell them anything, they're just ripping me off, like that mentality. And I carried that with me, and it held me back.
Yeah. And that was their thing, but because you were around them,
I was around it my whole life, and I just,
that.
because working as an accountant in business, like other people's businesses and government and private and whatever, I never had to sell anything. So being in that position where I had to sell things, it was very uncomfortable for me. So thankfully, I realized very quickly that something was going on, and I went to a money mindset coach myself and resolved it. But you never know when they're going to creep up, is the point that I'm trying to make.
Yes, 100%. Or you might not know what they are. And in the book, you definitely, in that chapter, you have prompt questions for someone and you ask them questions for them to kind of get an idea, like, do I have issues, deeper issues that I need to handle here? And you have great insights. And the stories are really amazing. So,
really, and that's the reason why it's the first step in my Cash Confident framework, to be working on your money mindset, because that can make or break you as a business owner. If you've got negative money mindset and you are not creating a positive relationship with money, chances are you're not going to build a financially viable business. You have to be aware of what's going on so you can replace that behavior, start new money habits, new healthy money habits, like you were referring to earlier. I love that. Healthy money habits are so important.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned framework. Walk us through the framework, because everyone's going to want to go get the Cash Confident book after they listen to this podcast, y'all. Like the most affordable thing you could probably get to make so much profit in your business, all in this little book. So I know you guys are going to get it. So you go through the framework in here. So just walk us through the framework. And then we can share with people. You've got a free gift for them. We can share how to keep connecting with you, because you've got a group that people can be a part of, and then the book for sure. So share that framework with us.
Awesome. Yeah, because I've been working with business owners for over 2 decades, and I created the 5-step Cash Confident framework myself. So this is my IP. And the first step is the money mindset, which we talked about. The second step is to understand your financial statements so that you can read them and get that feedback. The third step is to create that business financial plan so you have an idea of where your business is at currently and where you'd like to take it to in 12 months. Fourth step is what we were talking about earlier too, where you want to monitor your results against your plan, and also do some tax planning where you can estimate how much taxes you're going to owe and put that aside so that you don't get a surprise tax bill. And then the fifth step is managing the cash in your business. So the Cash Confident framework is not teaching you how to be an accountant or a bookkeeper. It's teaching you as a business owner how to manage your finances in your business so you can optimize the profit in your business, because all these 5 steps work together. And when they work together really well, you are optimizing the profit in your business. And that is going to be what helps build the wealth for yourself.
Yeah. And I love that you stress that multiple times in the book. Like, you don't have to you're not training, and learning to be the accountant and the bookkeeper, but you need to have a handle on it to be this, the CFO of your business, and to know and understand so you can catch these things before you find yourself questioning, are my doors going to be open next year or not? Because it's not a comfortable place to be. And you make it very simplified, and the formulas in here to, walk someone through what they should be looking at. When you said, you got to create a financial plan, I'm just picturing y'all out there listening like, okay, but how do I do that? Well, that's a framework. It's a step in the framework in the book. So she's going to walk you through that and make it very simple for you. If you're like, I'm not a numbers person, don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, you don't need to be a numbers person. You just need to, when somebody shows you how to do it, it's so much easier, right? When people are looking at it from the outside thinking, I know I need to do this, but it's overwhelming. I don't know where to start. That's usually why people walk away. They're like, I just can't deal with this. But when you've got that framework and you can walk through step by step, it becomes very manageable, and it doesn't take long to learn.
Yeah. And it's the thing. And I love that you said it doesn't take long to learn. A lot of you out there listening, time is of the essence for you. Your time is valuable. And this is one of the things in your business that you must make time for. You must make it a priority. It's the health of your business, and being profitable. So, make time for it, read the book, get the information, and actually implement and do the steps. Don't just let it be one of those books that you read again, you set it on your back shelf, and then you don't do anything. Very simple, actionable steps here to create these healthy money habits, to teach you kind of the things to be looking at on a regular basis and how to figure out, am I profitable, and what should I be monitoring? It's a great book, Melissa. It's really awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Very needed in this space. With a lot of us out there I was a nurse before. So, I'm learning this whole business and entrepreneurial journey, just like y'all in the process. And I might be a couple steps ahead, but we're all still learning. And again, like you said, like entrepreneurship is failing, learning through these failures. But I think this book will definitely, eliminate some of those failures that could happen if you don't have some of the basic knowledge. So it's great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Well, you've got a free gift for everyone. So you want to just share a little bit of information on how to get that or what it is and then how to get it. And I'll put the link in the show notes as well.
Yeah. If you want to get started with the 5-step cash confident framework, you can download the 5 steps to a profit, or the 5-step roadmap to a profitable business. There's so many different titles that it's hard for me to keep track here. But yeah, you can download that for free, and that'll give you a head start on what you need to know as a business owner to manage your business finances, build that financial foundation for your business.
Oh, love that. All right. So we'll have that link in the show notes. You guys can go down the 5-step roadmap to a profitable business. You can connect with Melissa on Instagram, Melissa Houston CPA over there. And then I'm going to have the link in the show notes to order the book. So go order it. I'll have the Amazon link in there, Cash Confident. It's been amazing. I've written in it. I've highlighted it. I've done so much in it already. And so I know I'm going to be coming back to this book again and again to just help support me in the business. So thank you. I appreciate you, Melissa, for coming on, for sharing some of your knowledge and having this conversation with me, because it's an important one to have.
And I appreciate you, Chrissy, and the fact that you are so excited about finances just makes me happy.
I love it. Sometimes I say I'm a numbers person, but then really when you get into it, I'm like, am I really a numbers person? But I like profit. Like that.
Yeah, you're a numbers person. So, it doesn't matter to what degree. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And even more so if you're not a numbers person, like if you're the person that's like, I would just do all this for free, like read the book. Because if you don't have some money coming in, you're not going to be able to even do it for free, right?
Exactly.
You have to do it. So
yeah,
I'm so glad that you're here to simplify it, to make it easy for us, and to get us cash confident. Super important. So thank you again. We'll have everything in the show notes. Go connect with Melissa. Keep listening to her, getting her tips. Read the book. Oh, I love it. I'm a lifetime follower now, forever and ever. So
awesome. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.